Hey guys, it's Dr. Sam Robbins, and today I'm going to talk about how you get taller. I've made videos about this and I'll link to other videos, but I bring this up because just in the past maybe month, I've had two separate people ask how they can get taller. One of them is a 10-year-old, and the other one is an 18-year-old person. Obviously, it's a lot harder when you're 18, but it got me thinking how when I would go on, let's say, vacations to other countries, because in the US, it's like a newer country, 300 years old or whatever. But you go to other civilization, cultures and so forth. I realize, everything is so much smaller with them. The doorways are smaller, things are narrower. Like if you go in the pyramids, everything is much shorter, especially me being almost 6'3". I realized, man, were people that much shorter and smaller in the old days? And, apparently they were. So why are they so much taller or bigger these days, especially in the US? Why is it, for example, Asians or Japanese and Chinese people, they come to America and then their kids are actually like taller, significantly taller than they are. And I think it just, a lot of it has to do with the food and the nourishment and the fact that maybe food is a lot more abundant in the United States or just in general these days. And so food is a big topic, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I mention this because a lot of people, I notice kids these days just don't eat well. They eat a lot of processed foods, sugars, like they have a lot of cereal in the morning. Like there's no good solid protein. They don't have good fats in their diet. A lot of it is like omega-6s, not enough omega-3s. A lot of it is processed fats and not natural fats. They don't have the fruits and the vegetables and all those nutrients that requires a body to grow. And one thing, just like a bodybuilder, they want to gain muscle, they need to have more calories to grow. Well, when you are growing in adolescence and so forth, you need those calories to grow, not just muscle and everything else, but just to grow taller. And that requires a lot of fuel, a lot of calories, but more specifically, a lot of nutrients. And by nutrients, I mean good quality proteins and amino acids, right? And vitamins and minerals. But you don't get that if you're eating junk. So it's not just about eating more food. A lot of people are eating more food, which is actually causing them to get fatter. And having excess estrogen because you're fatter is going to keep you shorter. And I mentioned that in another video. Or they have a lot of sugars. And well, if your insulin sensitivity gets worse, and a lot of kids these days are actually pre-diabetic or diabetic, where it was never like that 30 or 40 years ago. And being insensitive to insulin and being pre-diabetic will keep you shorter because your growth hormone and IGF levels are not optimal, and your body's not going to be absorbing those nutrients the way they should be if you were active. That's another problem. Kids aren't active these days. They're not out in the sun. They're not moving. The sun has a lot of nutrients, such as the vitamin D that we need. And kids are very low in vitamin D. Most people are, especially kids. So they're not out and they're not moving. When you move, your body can absorb that food better. It absorbs the carbohydrates and the glucose better. So these days I notice people are doing, or kids are doing all the wrong things that are preventing them to maximize their growth and maybe, not just surpass their initial genetic limit, such as, for example, the Asians who come here, their kids are a lot taller because they're eating more food. So what I've done is I'm in the process of just creating a guide. It's free about all the things you can do to improve your height. Obviously, if you're still growing, the types of foods you need to eat, should, and avoid, the nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, maybe, and all those things to optimize your hormones, which ultimately predetermines how you can maximize your genetic limit or height limit. So I'm putting that together. I'll put a link underneath this video. You can go there, just type in your email and information. And as soon as it's released, hopefully in another week or so, you'll get that email about it. It's a free guide. It's not going to cost you anything. And also, I put links to other videos that I made just in case if this is the first time you see me, or sorry for the noise outside. And you can watch those other videos about getting taller. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and enjoy the other video. And don't forget to take a look at that guide.